Hello, I'm James from CVG.
Hi, I'm Matt from CVG.
And we're here to talk to you through the newly released GTA 5 trailer. Matt, initial thoughts straight away?
The very first thing you see is a dog. Am I allowed to say that yet?
Yes,
yeah,
there it is.
You go.
There he is, there's the dog. That's of course after you hear the main protagonist talking about his life and why he's come back to where we are now, which we'll get onto a bit later. But yes, there is a dog. That is very exciting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Volition must be really pleased with that since they decided to leave dogs out of Saints Row the Third.
Yes. Moving on to the next shot. This is a very iconic skyline that from LA. It looks very good. Runners there. That man has a T-shirt on, which says, what does that say, Matt?
Pump and Run. Is it Pump and Run? Which is quite nice because that's kind of a return to the filthy names of GTA's yesteryear, like the rude named internet cafes and things like that. Because I mean, if you do have a dirty mind, then Pump and Run could be construed as something quite lewd. And
you can see some rubbish on the street there, which just always adds to the authenticity of the city. Those two women watching people running. There's a lot of that in this trailer, actually.
Women watching things.
Yeah, that's a lovely skyline.
And crucially there, just nipped behind a building, is a helicopter. I don't think anyone expected there not to be helicopters, but it's nice to have the confirmation.
And here's some golf. So that hints very much towards that golf will be back.
It's quite explicit about the return of golf, isn't it?
There's a golf cart there, and in the top right you can see a blimp, which features quite heavily in this video.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to move, but it is there.
And there looks like there's going to be, well, there's helicopters in it, so there's going to be aircraft, which obviously means there's a possibility of popping the blimp with a private jet, which would be amazing. Yeah.
That'd be good, yeah. Moving on now, jet skis, which have a very brilliant name.
Fantastic. Speedophile
2000 there.
So just in case you were in any doubt about GTA's sense of humour coming back, there you go.
The jet skis return good water physics in there. And here's a very nice scene. So mountain climbing,
yeah,
which is...
This got me more excited than it should, because it's kind of that... The thing with San Andreas is it had all that huge kind of wilderness between all the cities. So hopefully, looking at this, we'll be able to go back there.
Yeah, you'd think it's going to be very expansive there, looking at those mountains, and also the couple in the foreground there holding hands. So shows that relationships and stuff might play quite a big part in this iteration.
Touching, yeah. You've heard the guy doing the voiceover say he's a family man, so maybe there's a hand-holding button.
And that guy on the left seems to have a big pack with him, which could involve a tent, so maybe you can go camping.
That would be amazing.
We see later on that we'll get to, there are more tents. Here is a convertible car. The first time in GTA that they've had convertibles?
I think so, yeah.
Well, especially ones that you can change on the fly.
Yeah.
So obviously the roof's going down.
That is cool. Also, a few things like coming up. If you notice in the background, there's a piercing sign there. There's also like a wig shop as well in the next shot, and we thought maybe that pointed towards the fact that some of the crazy customization from the original San Andreas might be on the way back. And also the girl there's got loads of tattoos.
Yeah,
so
this lady has a lovely tattoo on her arm.
Maybe you'll be able to get tattoos as well.
Definitely. A bit more environmentally friendly here. Rockstar going for the wind farm.
We thought the yoga in the next shot as well points to, the obvious fact that it'll all be motion control.
Well, we hope not. But this, the fact that there is gyms and stuff back in it means maybe they're going to bring back the fat and the eating burgers and stuff.
Yeah.
You got really fat if you ate loads of burgers, so now you have to work out. There's some decks there down in the thing, which is good. Maybe kind of music inside now in your houses.
Yeah.
And here we get onto the freeways now, so we can see just how big these cities are going to be. Freeway 5 going to Las Puertas. That's not how you say it.
Las Puertas.
Las Puertas.
I had no idea. Interesting as well. Little Seoul? Seoul? I don't know.
Little Seoul, I think.
Little Seoul. Like the Chinatowns in other games. Could signify some gang action.
And then moving on to the beach shot, here we've got Pump Buddy. It's a brilliant sign. Plenty of issues to work out.
That's nice.
Tagline.
Yeah.
Good. So you see the guys here on a bit like Muscle Beach, down all working out in the open air gym. A lot of rubbish in the bin there.
It's kind of got this reoccurring theme all the way through it of like this kind of opulence contrasted with complete sort of stark poverty, and you see a lot of buildings for sale and things like that.
And that which ties into this next shot here, where we've got lots of sort of run-down buildings. So there's an ATM there, which I'd like to think that means you have to get money out sort of at these certain points.
You can't just go around with like £3 million in your pants. Yeah. A few shots here as well kind of look a bit reminiscent of The Wire, like the Corner Boys.
Yeah.
And property development as well. A bit later on you see docks too.
Here they are building the Mile High Club, which there's a lot of construction going on in this trailer. And here he is.
We think.
The main protagonist.
A couple of people reckon maybe he looks a bit like an older, fatter version of Claude from the first GTA, or from GTA 3 anyway. I thought he looked a little bit like Ray from GTA 3, but he's too young, and the voice is wrong.
And then from here we move on to a bit more stuff in the outback, I would suggest, with a bit of crop dusting and that kind of thing, which would suggest biplanes and that kind of thing are back.
Be nice.
Can fly, so it's going to be huge, the thing, which is a logical step for them to take, seeing as they've already done Vice City again, and now they've already done Liberty City again, and now they're moving on to back to San Andreas.
And you've got that kind of experience with Red Dead as well, where they learn how to do wide open spaces rather than just tight cities, so maybe we're going to get a bit of that as well.
And then we see it's all gone a bit wrong when we get to Bugstar's pest control, putting the FU in fumigate.
Hey.
Still got their brilliant taglines. Here they are getting out with some silenced weapons, all of them silenced, so they're customizable weapons, I would suggest. Going into what looks like a jeweller's, and you can see the Daily Globe in the background there, which just looks like a general store.
No sign yet, really, from what we've seen, whether or not you'll be able to go into any of and all of these shops or not. But
no, you'd hope that you could go into most of them by now.
Kind of feels the way that it's going.
Here we are, the burger shop.
Up and at 'em.
Burgers.
Nice.
Once it pings, eat like kings. So that's microwaves definitely included.
Yeah, that's a big thing. There's a headline for you. The Docklands as well, like, totally reminded me of like Series 2 of The Wire, and this bit as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of poverty on the streets now, lots of cardboard and rubbish, and people hanging out under underpasses and things.
It's kind of a lot less glamorous than I think people probably would have predicted it being if they'd known the location.
If you pause this shot here, you can see a postal van, which they aim not to lose it, which is good.
Good
and
stuff.
then it pulls across, and you can see a man having to sell his house who has recycling out first time.
Yeah, do you reckon like live recycling?
I'd hope so.
We can only hope. Yeah.
Otherwise, it just builds up and builds up.
Like everything seems to be for sale, which is
it's all getting rather run down.
licorice.
It's good. Here's a homeless man begging for money. His sign says, "Need money for beer, drugs," and then he says, "At least he's not bullshitting," which is nice.
Yeah, it is.
So
Respect his honesty. In the background as well, it looked like there was just going behind him. Looks like a truck with a trailer. Is that as well? Which we haven't seen since the last San Andreas, I don't think.
Yeah. Big trucks are back.
So
which I guess you need to go across the big.
Yeah.
Vast expanse of space.
You used to be able to sort of hook up the trailers and drag them around and then flip them over and stuff like that, so that'd be awesome if that was back. A thing that I wish they had never taken out.
And then we're back under the underpasses again, with people living in tents and cardboard boxes and things. So
again, sort of feels a little bit Wire, a bit like Amsterdam.
And here's a fighter jet, so hopefully you'll be able to take control of them and fly them about the cities. Motorbikes. That's all I have to say about them.
That's I don't think anything else needs saying.
Motorbikes in.
That's what they are. Euphoria physics engine.
Definitely. Maybe a suggestion there's going to be more clubbing.
Yeah.
Going out and
more going and getting drunk, because that wasn't too annoying.
Like sorting out your girlfriend and all of that, taking her places. This is a lovely shot of some mining going on in the outskirts of the cities.
And there's more hot blimp action in the background there.
Blimp, yes.
Now a couple of shots coming up here are interesting, because the guy that we've seen that we think is the protagonist clearly isn't.
It's not the guy driving the car.
In the frame, it's not the guy driving.
So it could be a son, or it could be someone else, maybe suggesting multiple characters.
This whole shot in the area, it kind of feels really like the first area in San Andreas.
Yeah.
CJ's home.
It couple of burnt-out car here with an ambulance in the background and another blimp. It's the same
To the
blimp.
And again, massively iconic Vinewood.
Flying over Vinewood in your private jet
Nice.
to close the shot. So that's it. The GTA 5 trailer, a quick analysis there.
Spot anything else? Pop it in the comments below and make fun of us for missing it. Cheers.
Goodbye.